This is a tutorial for the lesson 5.1, graphing lines on the calculator. I'm going to make reference to this front sheet as we work the problems. So one thing is the slope. When I ask for the slope, once you've solved your equation for y, we're going to just look in front of the x. For the other parts, the x-intercept and the y-intercept and solutions, we're going to use these instructions on the Casio calculator. The calculator we're using is the Casio FX9750G22. So let's get started. So the first problem here, and I've already written the answer, we're going to look at it. It says y equals 2x minus 8. And I like this one because it's ready to go. And what I notice, it has this y equals. And if you see that, you're ready to go. So the first answer is asking for the slope. Now the slope, again, it's said on the front page, we just look in front of the x. So that one's easy. I found my x, and right in front there's the 2. Now for the other ones, the x-intercept and the y-intercept and the two other solutions, I am going to go to the calculator. And all these instructions on the buttons to push are written on the first page. So on the first page, it reminds us the x-intercept is also called the root. So we're going to keep that in mind. But first I need to turn the calculator on. So the on button is here on the right side in the middle. And what I'm showing is the menu. If this isn't showing, you just have to push the menu button until it shows. And what we're doing is we're going to work from menu 3. Menu 3 says graph. You can either just push the 3, or you can put move over to it. So I'm going to use the gray button, and I'm over on the menu 3. I push execute. I've got my y equals, and so I can type it in. If there's anything there, you just delete it. You could use the delete button and get rid of it, but it's clean, it's ready to go. So I'm going to use my equation is 2x minus 8. So 2x minus 8. Notice I didn't use this button. It's the times button, but for the x, we need to use the button over here underneath the purple. That's orange. That's not purple. Underneath the orange button. So I've got my equation in, and now I'm going to push execute. And at this point, the screen is changed, and now I have an option right here that says draw. And so I want to draw the graph. So we push F6. It's right underneath. And there's my line. It shows up. So to get the x-intercept, all I need to do is use this button G-solve. Now since those words are written in gold, I'm going to use this shift button. So shift G-solve. Now then I get a lot of choices. For right now, this is the one I want, right there at the beginning that says root. And it's above the F1 button. So I push F1. And there is my answer. Now the screen gives both the x and the y. To write the answer, all you really need is the x number, where it says x equals 4. If you want, you can use both the x and the y and write your answer long with both using both the x coordinate and the y coordinate. But you're allowed just to put the 4 if you want. So we found the x coordinate. Now I'm going to look for the y-intercept. So I'm going to go back to this magic button. I love this. G-solve. Shift G-solve. And here I read my choices. And the fourth choice has Y-ICPT, which is short for intercept. And that's above the F4 button. So I'll push the F4. And now I have the X and Y. And all I need is the Y for the Y-intercept. And you can write the answer two ways. You can write it -8, or we can use both the x and the y and write it as an ordered pair using the x and the y numbers. So we have the slope, we have the x-intercept, the y-intercept. Now I'm going to go to the two solutions. those are going to be found on the table. To get to the table, I'm going to go Menu, and this time we're going to go to Menu, this app number 5 that says Table. So I'm going to select that one and push Execute. And my equation is still in there. But this time I've got a different option. Over here in the corner, it says Table. And so I'm going to push the F6 button underneath there so I can get the table. And I get a table of values. Now it only gives you a very small amount. It only gives you the values for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for right now, that's fine. So I'm gonna use the first one. There's no sense of looking for better ones. Those are pretty good. There's 1, -6, and then the other one is 2, -4. It doesn't matter which ones you pick. Now I'm not going to pick this last one, 4, 0, because I already have it up here. It's the same one here. I want 2 other solutions, 2 new ones. So now that I've got my x-intercept, my y-intercept, and 2 solutions, we're ready to graph it. So I'm going to go to the graph paper. The slope, I'm not going to graph that one. I'm going to graph these 4 points. So the x-intercept, I find the x-axis and count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's the 4, which is the x-intercept. The y-intercept, so here's my y-axis, and I'm going to find -8. That's along the y-axis. And now I'm ready to put the 2 other solutions. So the first one is 1, -6. So I go over 1 and down 6. And then 2, -4. Over 2 and then down 4. Now if you've done this correctly, they should all line up perfectly, just like they're doing it. And we just connect the dots and make the arrows. So that's the first one. Now if we go on to number 2.
Let's take a break.